Possibly a bit early for a Paulownia update, though there's definitely quite a bit of interest in Paulownia and I do have a few things to say. I also want to show you how I'm going to have a try at germinating Paulownia seed using the water method. Firstly, there has been one very severe frost and one pretty reasonable frost, but the severe one was prolonged. Anyways, these are Paulownia, regarded as being frost hardy to -33 according to the advert in the seed catalogue. Certainly that one's fine, really healthy, green all the way, almost to the very tip. This one next door, I'm assuming that the black is frost damage. Now it's healthy enough right at the base, and I would be astonished if it doesn't come back and recover from the base. That was Paulownia. These are Nordmax, so a German variety. And again, there's a mixed picture. That one's healthy. This one's definitely looks as though it's had a fair amount of frost damage. So I like the Paulownia, good green, healthy plant at the base, and I would be, as I say, again astonished if it doesn't come back strongly. And this is tomentosa, and this is pretty healthy all the way to the tip. Yeah, very pleased. I'm hopeful these are going to start sprouting from the stems this year rather than basal shoots. The other thing I'd say is there's much more in the way of hydration in the ground, so I'm definitely expecting much better growth rates. As you can see, they readily sprout from basal shoots. These are Shantung. This again was a tomentosa. Maybe I'm being a bit disingenuous about the blackness. This one's healthy with, looks like a shoot there. So yeah, I'm definitely hopeful these are going to sprout from the stems rather than basal shoots this year. Right at the top, it's not quite as healthy. Looks a bit blackened and browned off. As I say though, definitely hopeful that this year there will be much better growth in these Paulownia. And I've got another variety, which that's probably one of the reasons why I'm keen to get on and sow some seed, which I'm going to add to this Elongate, which is a natural variety. In general, these are very healthy though, considering that was a prolonged frost, easily down to -7, possibly a little bit colder. And some of these, as you can see, just absolutely in fabulous condition. All but the very tips are healthy. Maybe even the tip's healthy. Maybe it'll grow from the tip, fingers crossed. These I planted from memory last September, October, and generally I'd be in favour of planting early. Get them in the ground early so that they can make best use of a full season. When I planted my small plantation here, I started planting I think end of July and finished end of September, so they've only really had one full decent growing season in the ground. So yeah, I'm very hopeful that these will do a lot better. And my proviso would be do what I've done here and give them a good start by either putting circles of builder's polythene or polythene around to suppress vegetation, or what I did and what I'll continue to do with these is put the grass cuttings around them. Really pleased with this heated base and the grow room in general. The soil surface thermometers are reading around 20 degrees C, although the actual thermostats are reading 26.5, 27.5, and I would think the actual in contact seed to surface is around 23 degrees C. Anyways, generally speaking, I do stratified my eucalyptus seeds. I know this doesn't have to do with Paulownia, though I am going to lift out this tray of Paulownia which I didn't stratify. All of these have germinated really well, but the Paulownia haven't germinated, so I'm just gonna, and I didn't stratify the Paulownia, so I'm just gonna lift this one out as gently as I can. I want to try and keep my mould, as it were, and pop this in the fridge to stratify. And very, as I say, very pleased. I want to keep this, I can feel that's really warm. That's easily high 20s. Anyways, I'm just going to I cut the base out of this seed tray so that I could pop that in. And you'll see why that's important to me in just a short while. Elongate is the new variety that I want to propagate this year. Pretty sure it's a natural variety, but I'll check on that, and if I'm wrong, then I'll post it in the description. Tomentosa is the generally considered to be the ornamental one. Most of the others I would consider to be commercial for timber products, though they're all aesthetically pleasing and they all produce, so far as I know, these beautiful purple flowers. Nord Max is a cloned hybrid, so these are seeds of a cloned hybrid, and I have done a reasonable amount of research, and even the seeds of a cloned hybrid are going to keep some of the characteristics of the clone. What I will start to do, depending on how it goes, is I'll start cloning the best of what I have here as well. From the research I've done, sunlight is a factor where germination of Paulownia seeds are concerned, and yeah, definitely I've done a fair amount of research, and Paulownia like their sunlight, and as I say, seeds from what I can gather absolutely require it for germination. So these wee jars came with these lids, which are obviously not going to let the light from the grow lights penetrate. So what I've decided to do is just to get these small poly bags and cut circles out of them, and then I'll just use these elastic bands to keep the lids in place, like so. Okay, so where are the seeds? Here they are. So these are Tomentosa, and Paulownia seeds are dispersed with the wind, so they're very light. I'm just Tomentosa I don't have good stock of at the moment. I've got quite good stock of the rest of them, so I'm just going to pop in quite a few Tomentosa. Okay, that'll probably be enough. Just going to tap these down to make sure they're in contact with the water, though I don't actually think it's going to make much difference. I think they'll soon absorb the moisture once the water starts to heat up. The last one, and the original intention was I was going to pack these with the same medium that I was using to pack the seed trays in, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to put the lid on like this. So I've popped a wee thermometer in as well, and it's currently reading around 16 coming up to 18, so I've just put that in. So I'd say, as I say, the thermostats are saying 27, So I'd say these are pretty close to the soil warming cable, so not too far off. Certainly I'm hoping for 23 plus. Why am I giving this method a try? I've had success with just surface sowing them onto compost as I do with the eucalyptus seeds. What I found was they had a very fine tolerance for, they needed high temperatures, and then if you didn't take them out and plug them up pretty quickly, then you would get a high failure rate due to them damping off. So what I'm hoping is, doing it this way, it will be easier for me to plug them up individually from the water. They won't have the clumps of compost around them to try and separate them out and then plug them up. So I'm hoping this is going to be easier and I'll have a higher success rate. I will from now on be doing a 4-weekly update on the Paulownia out in my small plantation, and I'll update on how I'm getting on with the germination and plugging up of these Paulownia in this new method I'm trying. Hope that helps. Meantime, good luck.